Alright, so welcome to week 2 of our class, Curriculum Design and Evaluation. You should have your book by now, and hopefully you're doing the reading in that book by Diane Ravitch. It's interesting. You're going to like some of the things that she has to say and some of the things you may not agree with, but it's an interesting read, those first 4 chapters. Okay, so the housekeeping for this week is that we have a paper due on Friday. It's due by 5 p.m. on Friday. It's 2 to 3 pages long. It's your personal belief of what education should be, what the curriculum should be, what the standards are, what instruction should look like, how assessment should be used. So your personal views, but you're going to support it with some of the reading that you've been doing so far. You can use the 2 readings that we did by Dr. Martin Luther King or John Dewey. You can use those. You can reference the video with Sir Ken Robinson. That would be fine. Or you can use the books. If you have other books or articles you'd like to reference, those would be fine too. Just make sure that you are using APA format. And if you need help with that, there are some resources online. Okay, so you're going to make sure that you look at the rubric that we're going to be using, and it's on when you go to submit your assignment. You can see the requirements for the assignment, and then there's a little rubrics in the corner that you can look at and use to make sure that you're writing your paper correctly. You can also go to the Smarter Balance Consortium and look at it there. It's the same rubrics that we're going to be asking children to write to. So and we're not children, but it's really nice to get us familiar with that tool, since I know it's new to everybody. Just a nice way to get us more familiar with that. So make sure you look at that rubric. You'll submit your paper online. So what you'll do is you'll just download it into the Blackboard classroom, and it submits right up to me, and then I can grade it from there. If you have problems with it and you think, oh, I'm not going to meet the deadline, go ahead and email it to me, and then we'll go through again how to submit it online. It's pretty easy, but I don't want you to, get flustered about it if you're getting down to the deadline. Okay? You can always submit your paper earlier too. You don't have to wait till Friday if you want to get it done. All right. So this week, as we do our reading about in the book, and we read the first 4 chapters, she's really talking a lot about school reform and what it's looked like for the last about 20 years now. And as those of us that have been in education for a long time know that the reform that has been going on in the last few years has been very severe, and a lot of accountability with it. No Child Left Behind had pushed us to make improvements, but it also made, if you were a school of improvement and you had those threats of you're going to be taken over by the state, or they're going to come in and impose things in your school, a little draconian, and not always trusting teachers for what was right for the kids. So she's got some really good points in her book. What I want you to think about is, before you do a reform, what do you have to have before you do it? What's essential to any kind of reform movement? And then when you're doing the reform, what are you looking at? Curriculum, policy, strategies, behavior, interventions. What is it that you're trying to reform at the school, and how will you support people to do that? And then what outcomes are you looking for? And it's one thing to come in and say, we're going to do a reading block for 3 hours, but if you don't have the curriculum behind it, and you don't know exactly what the outcomes are, or you don't have assessments that are going to measure that, and then have a response to that intervention in place, what are you really doing? You're just kind of forcing things on people. So think about those items while you're doing your reading this week. Remember that you've got group work that you should be working with your teammates on. If you don't have a group yet, I'll be emailing you this week and putting you in a group. So don't worry about it. We'll find you somebody to work with. 3 to 4 people in a group. You're going to be working on a PowerPoint that's due week 4. That's a professional development for teachers. It would be an hour long, and you will have 2 interactive strategies in it, so it's not going to be that long. But remember, everybody needs to contribute. So you could either have everybody do a slide and put them all together, or one person think of the interactive strategies and how they're going to be done, another person do the research. But work together. Don't leave it all to one person. All right? Okay, and if you have any trouble with your group, let me know, and we'll work out everything so everybody gets a chance to contribute. All right, have a great week. Do your reading. I'll see your paper on Friday. If you have any questions, email me. You got my phone number. Call me. We'll get you the help we need, and we look forward to this week. I'll see you in the discussion room. Have a great week.